I feel like there's about to be 3 types of people watching this video. We got the non-smokers, the ones who don't know what a blunt is, or the rotation is, or the rotation of said blunt is. And that's okay. This video is rated E for everyone. I'll explain for y'all. We got the people who are high as hell right now, and sir, you know, I salute you, okay? Y'all having a good time? You safe? You hydrated? You got your snacks? What snacks do I got for y'all today? Oh, well, Milk's favorite cookie, y'all. We got the Oreos, okay? You want some? All right, you high ass.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck,
You know what's crazy, y'all? Look at this. It says party size. I bought this shit like 3 days ago, bro. My fat ass ate all of this. Yo, for the non-Americans, no jokes aside, or all jokes aside, we got a weight problem over here. And then there's gonna be the groups of people that are most of y'all, the people that are sober right now, maybe had a long day of workout off the gym, and you've had experience big or small smoking before. You're just tuning in because the title is bizarre to say the least. You read it right though, my friend. You know, if you're high or not. We are gonna be putting UFC fighters in the form of a tier list, kind of building them together to see who is gonna be the dream blunt rotation. That's kind of safe for the S and A tier. You know, which of these UFC fighters in real life do I feel like would be delightful, for lack of a better word?
You stupid.
To add to the rotation, you feel me? And who is going to be in the C, D, and F tier? Who's going to be having you tweak out? Who's going to do the Eric Andre? Nightmare. That is what we're going to be gathering today from all the way S to F. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, I said I would explain this to y'all. For y'all that don't know, a blunt is this cool little voodoo tobacco roll. You get the good little za in there. You put the weed in there, bro. Okay, in the dream rotation, who are we gonna pass it around with? So, jumping into this, man, okay? We are gonna start off with Arman Tsarukyan, man. And I don't know what this guy's up to. You know, Mr. Side Quest and a half. He's like Bruce Wayne during the day, and he's literally Batman at night, for no pun intended here. And Tsarukyan, I see, you know, he's kind of growing on me, right? I used to think a year or two ago, I'm like, this guy is just too much money for his own good, brother. You know, very inactive, not really a fan of this guy. Says he wants to just fight for the belt and bounce. I wasn't having it, right? A little bit of these interviews later, he's kind of growing on me, but we're going to put him in the C tier, right? This dude is so goddamn rich that I feel like most of the damn time, right, he's going to be ordering these hundreds of dollars of DoorDash that I simply cannot afford. He's going to eat it. He's going to bring in the cameras and have to post about it. And like, I'm not trying to have my high ass on camera, right? And on top of the fact that he's going to go and talk about his stories of, he did this last week and it cost $15 million. He did this a few days ago and it was $500,000. Look at this watch he's wearing, right? It costs more than me, my literal soul in existence. I'm not trying to tweak out and go down a rabbit hole of what am I doing with my life while just trying to have a nice little joint after work. Arman Tsarukyan, he probably has some cool tales, if you will, but a lot of them are probably going to have a spiraling, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And this guy's going to have the posse with him. You know, it's never just going to be him. He's going to have the cameras. He'll be eating the goddamn house out of hold. And I don't know, man. Arman I feel like he'll try and like grapple me, try and grab me, go for a little double leg. Oh, you know, I got to sprawl my ass while I'm high as hell. And it's like, I don't know, dude. You know, Tsarukyan, it could be worse, but I feel like I would trip out, bro, you know? Or he would just get oddly physical on some not weird shit. But it could be worse, you know? Kind of seems like a chiller, but I'll put him in the C tier. Up next to Tatsuro Taira. I don't know what this motherfucker is gonna say, right? He speaks a little bit of English, but my American ass, right? We're talking about the bat, right? I mean, this whole thing of Oreos. I also only know one language. Welcome to America, okay? This is, you know, I'm sorry. Actually, it's kind of less of America. They tried to teach us Spanish and French and shit, bro. This is maybe more of a me problem, but Japanese or not, man. Tatsuro Taira, I'm putting him in the B tier because I feel like his presence alone, you know, he's going to hit me with a few I am happy, thank yous. You know, we're going to see this peachy smile, you know, somebody called Lucas Tracy, and his presence alone, maybe he'll be like the little bit of the quiet guy in the group, but we're all just happy to have him. You know, I'm going to pass that shit to Taira, and he's going to say, I am happy, thank you. And I'm going to say, you know what? I'm happy, thank you. You know, appreciate you for being here, okay? So Tatsuro Taira, I feel like, you know, the English is about to be botched. Might not exactly be too much of a conversation point, but we're going to add him for vibes. For vibes, you know? Speaking of vibes, man, how can I not put the inventor of sex in the A tier here? Coming off an amazing win, by the way, so shout out Quillan Salkilld, but gotta put Salkilld in A tier. He is the embodiment, I've seen YouTubers and other people in general just talk about this, he is the embodiment of somebody who would just be that cool guy that you're hanging out with at the bar, or just one guy in the friend group who knows ball with MMA, but he just so happens to train, and he's at the elite level. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't guess that this guy is one of the top UFC fighters, submitting Gamrot better than Charles fucking Oliveira did, but Salkilld is legit in the cage, but outside the cage, just a chill guy. Not even one of these like round SpongeBob NPCs. Like maybe you could just talk to him about like the weather and shit. Like Salkilld, he seems like a chiller. I've been seeing the Jaden Cable collabs and the full violence shit in bedtime. Like, come on now, bro. Salkilld, we're gonna chirp it up. You know what I'm saying? The DoorDash might be on me for once, you know? So we're gonna put this shit in the A tier here. Up next to Aiemann Zahabi. Now listen.
Oh, brother.
I fuck with the Canadians. I'm cool with the Canadians. You know, shout out you if you're a Canadian right now. But I'm gonna put him in D. I feel like he would be kind of again, for lack of a better word, like delightful to just have, simply because he's probably like a really nice guy, but he's going in the D tier because, son, I feel like this guy could be my uncle, my grandfather, my father, and my brother all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just do not feel like this would be the guy that's in my ideal rotation, if you will. Now, granted, it could be way worse. But what the fuck am I supposed to talk about with Aiemann Zahabi? What am I supposed to do with Aiemann Zahabi, bro? You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about the game plan against Sean O'Malley. We're going to talk about his lovely wife and kids if he has some. Hopefully he does. And even if he doesn't, we can talk about how bald he is. I don't know, bro. But it's just like, Zahabi is a nice guy. You know, we can talk about the scenic routes in Canada. But besides that, you know, it's looking, you know, I'm very sorry for that, by the way, but it's looking a little rough. So I feel like I would just be bored out of my mind. I'd probably want to not smoke. I'd say, you know what, could we go do some homework or some bullshit? So, you know, I'll put Zahabi in the D tier. He's got me wanting to do homework over smoking. We got a problem. Up next to Ian Garry. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not S. You know what, my friend? It's not even C. We're going to put Garry in the F tier. I'm neutral on him on how I feel about him as a fighter because I really respect that he takes on anybody, tries to promote the fight at the very least, even though it's kind of shitty at times, and he takes on anybody in the rankings. He'll take on fights short notice that are some of his best performances, and it's like, I respect him a lot as a fighter. I am not smoking with this dude, bro. I am not even like, I don't know, I'm not even having a casual lunch with this fella. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, Ian Garry, I can't even imagine the horrors. I've been seeing these podcast clips lately, and while I think that some people are blowing it crazy out of proportions, like, is it cringy? Yeah. Is it annoying as fuck? Pretty much, yeah. But, like, I didn't think it was, like, awful. Like, it's annoying as hell, but I'm like, y'all gotta chill with these 50-minute videos and these fucking breakdowns about Ian Garry, bro. Look at the way he's sitting on the chair. I bet he's sitting that way when he's the cock in the bed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, bro. I feel you, you know? But at the end of the day, respect this guy in the cage, but I just do not want to hear the voice, if you will. I do not want to hear the stories. I don't want, you know what I'm saying, bro? Maybe it'd be cool. Maybe we could take a picture and talk about, like, I'd be like, hey, you know, good luck against Makhachev. You know, I'm betting some money on you, brother, but we'll keep it as a casual talk and just leave. We don't even need to smoke. Please, keep the lighter. You can have it. Speaking of lighter, bro, this guy is literally the human embodiment of a lighter. It's Sean O'Malley. You know what I'm saying, bro? One of those rainbow-colored ones you get for $1.99 at the 7-Eleven, bro. Sean O'Malley, man, to put in the B tier. You would think, like, this guy and, like, the Nate Diaz's of the world, like, these are, like, the ideal dream rotation. You know, they're the classic stoners. I mean, Sean O'Malley, a big part when he was on the come-up was just being, like, the stoner guy, for better or worse. You know what I'm saying? It's come a long way since then, but it's still a big part of his shtick in his life, and you see it with Tommy Gunn as well. And you know what? Respect to the lads, right? But I low-key, Tommy McGill's not on this list, but I would put Tommy pretty up there. But Sean I'll put in B tier. A good tier, you know, it's kind of crazy because I can have a whole ass back and forth combo with Sean. We could have a whole ass podcast session, like a Joe Rogan experience. But Tatsuro Taira, I'm saying like one damn thing too, and they're in the same tier. But hey, listen, hear me out, right? Sean, I feel like would kind of, you know, he's kind of like hit or miss. Like sometimes he'll be like that funny, goofy Sean. You see it maybe like, you know, like on some of these podcasts or like the lax self, the one that's able to be himself like at the White House presser. And then you get the one in like the UFC 316 presser. Just kind of a mute, just kind of there. Just like, I feel like Sean would shut the fuck down sometimes, like an introverted white girl in high school. You know what I'm saying? Showing up at her 8 a.m. class in her pajamas. Like, I'm not trying to have all that with Sean O'Malley, you know? And I feel like it would just be like the stereotypical, like, haha, yeah, what are you trying to watch, Smitty? You know? Guru? All right. I'll put on the goo. You know what I'm saying? Bro, he really does talk like that. It's kind of crazy. I like Sean, but you know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like we would just be sitting and watching the telly for hours, and it's okay, bro. You know, I'm all right. You know, so I like Sean. I feel like I would smoke with Sean. I feel like you have to, right? It would be an honor, technically. You know, this is the B tier, but if I had the opportunity tomorrow, you know, I'm hopping on that shit. But up next to Merab Dvalishvili, I mean, I'm going to put him in the C tier here, simply because I feel like he would suck all the oxygen out the room the way he's talking so damn much. My ears would be bleeding. I feel like that we'd be goofing around, but similar to Arman, like, why would this dude, like, tell me you wouldn't see him trying to shoot, like, a single leg on me, bro. I'm, like, just trying to chill on the couch or some shit, and he's like, oh, you know what? He's trying to, like, grab me and shit in places I do not want to be grabbed on some non-gay shit, and I'm like, Merab, you know, it's low-key 3 a.m., bro. I'm not trying to feel this out right now. And it's just, like, Merab would be the guy that's like, he gets really like spazzy and like energetic and can't shut the fuck up off the side, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he's that one friend you kind of got to like sedate him. You got to give him to chill and get him to like nap on the couch or some shit, you know what I'm saying? So Merab I'll put in the C tier. I feel like he would make me laugh my ass off. We've had some really good times, the highs, but the lows would be pretty damn low, and I would just want to put a bullet in me, you know what I'm saying? So we'll put Merab in the C tier. Up next to Khamzat Chimaev, I mean, oh boy, bro. I mean, a lot of people, for some reason, I mean, I guess it depends on where you live, how big of a fan you are of this guy, or how you're feeling in general, but some people will put this dude very highly. That's all y'all, dude. This guy would freak me out, bro. You know what I'm saying? This guy would tweak me out, and I feel like I couldn't get a word out of him. I have a better chance of having Tatsuro Taira recite the entire English dictionary than have Khamzat Chimaev say anything except, good stuff. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm not, oh, hell no, bro. Acting like Guts from Berserk, bro. Like, I'm just not trying to have all that. So, Mr. Tall, Dark, and Broody here, bro. The wolf himself. Hey, lots of respect for the fighter, but, bro. No, this guy freaks me the fuck out. And also, like, again, bro, I would just be not trying to even engage here. Speaking of not trying to engage, man, I mean, I'm trying to disarm every time I'm within a 100-meter radius of this guy. But Sean Strickland here, bro. I'll put him in the D tier. It could be worse. You know, I see some of those Nina drama interviews, and I just see some of these kind of like embedded clips of Sean or whatever. Listen, would I ever be friends with Sean Strickland? You know, hey, dream interview right there. But listen, bro, well, maybe not. That's actually maybe not, okay. But it's like, you know what? Say what I want about Sean. In terms of smoking with him, though, yes, it could be worse, but I'm probably okay, bro. You know, you can have this one. You know, I feel like Sean O'Malley, it's like, oh, you got to do it, right? You just have to. Sean Strickland, it's okay. You know, I don't know if that's necessarily something I have to live in this life. You know, maybe if I'm reincarnated or some shit, but, you know, I'm okay right now. I just feel like he'll either get so chill and he'll just become, like, just the anti-version of himself when he's sober and ranting, or he will just become even stronger, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Putting gas on the flames. Like, I feel like this guy would get even more fucking political, even more bold with the takes, if you will. And he might shoot me. I'm going to say it how it is, bro. He genuinely might shoot me. So I'm not trying to mess around with that, bro. Well, I'm trying to order McDank. So I'm going to say that Sean Strickland, we'll put him in the D tier here. It could be worse. He might get some good laughs out of me, but I don't feel the need for this one, man. You know? Up next, man, I can't believe that we don't have any S tiers yet. I am gonna put Carlos Prates in here. I mean, bro, Chief Keef every single time, bro. You know this guy is drunk, high, off of something. I mean, every damn day of the week, bro. And yet he's able to go 5 rounds at the highest level. The takedown defense is there against the wrestlers. The striking is there against the strikers. I mean, obviously, you know, this guy has devastating Muay Thai and devastating KO power. But what baffles me is how amazing he is. And yet this guy be smoking, bro. This guy is fiending. I've seen the videos, bro. You know when he's like shaking and he went like a couple weeks or a few days or whatever the fuck it was without the cigs in preparation for his fight. It might have been a few weeks and finally gets a hold of him. And this guy was about to ascend. You know what I'm saying? Open up his third eye when he got a load of those cigarettes. So it's just like, I'm sure this guy is experienced with everything, consuming everything, like he's Kirby. You know what I'm saying? Nintendo 64 shit. But Carlos Prates, I'm gonna put in the S tier. How could I not, bro? I feel like it would be such a good time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can go out afterwards. Maybe we can, we could really do anything, bro. You know, we got all the homies together with Carlos Prates. I feel like you have to add Prates to the dream rotation. Like, he is the embodiment of like that one UFC fighter who is just that heavy smoker, but it doesn't even feel like a Sean O'Malley thing where it's like, it's just kind of the vibe or the shit. Like, Prates is going to do it anyways. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, Prates is going to be doing this shit anyways, bro. Give me that S tier. I feel like it'd be such a good time. Speaking of good time, man, I see those rips that Gaethje's taking. I mean, oh, Lord, bro, Justin Gaethje, bro. This is the guy that beat Paddy Pimblett on the rise, Rafael Fiziev twice, man, 29-28, crispy as hell all times. Ilya Taporia took his own, man, like, one of the best fights of all time against Max Holloway. Like, this guy is ripping in the meantime. Dude, in between fights, bro, like, this guy, I have seen the videos, and I believe that Justin Gaethje, man, this guy probably got a high-ass tolerance, and this guy is smoking. He says he doesn't get out much, doesn't try to really go out much, just doesn't really party much, you know, just trains, sleeps, eats, repeats, chills with his loved ones, you know, and, bro, you know what that means, my fellas, for a lot of the people that know, a lot of that alone time, we be smoking, you know, Gaethje be smoking. And I just feel like he would be maximum Rufus levels. You know what I'm saying? Like on some Mordecai and Rigby shit. I feel like we'd have a good time. So we'll put Gaethje in the 8 tier. How could I not, bro? A little sesh with the champ. Up next to Jean Silva. No, dude, another one of these people that's going to freak me out. Like, I'm not doing all that. You know, like, would I love to interview this guy? Would I love to meet this guy? Would I love to watch his fights live? Am I a fan of this guy? Yes. Of course. No, dude, like, again, he is just the embodiment of, he is going to just grab me and toss me out the window. He is going to just bark over and over and over again, and we might laugh at first, but then he's going to do it so much for so many hours that I just can't do all the barking, bro. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm dog sitting when I'm just trying to chill and watch, like, the Midnight Gospel. You know what I'm saying? So with Jean Silva, man, no, dude, I see how he acts towards his friends and the Full Violence crew and all these people, man, and he really wears his heart on his sleeve, and I respect that a lot. You know, I can appreciate that in a person, but at the same time, bro, I see the vibe, and it is I'm okay, bro. You know, similar to Strickland. Like, it could be worse. I could be down, but I'm okay, bro. You know, gun to my head, you know what I'm saying, bro? So it is what it is. I'll put him in the D tier. Up next to Arnold Allen here. I mean, come on. Gotta put him in the B tier. Europe's sweetheart. One of the finest in the UFC, man, of just people that might be heavily on the spectrum. Might be a little awkward to talk to at first. Might be a little bit goofy. I saw that shit that he was doing with John Silva at the face-off, speaking of John Silva. But Arnold Allen here, man. I mean, might not be the most talkative, but just... I've seen the interviews where he's talking about his cat all the damn time, where he's telling these random-ass stories. And I see his Twitter as well. I don't even be on Twitter, but somehow his Twitter the attention gets brought to me. You know what I'm saying? And this dude... is funny as hell, bro. He's funny as hell. I want to be where he's at on the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever he's smoking, can I get a few hits? So, Arnold Allen, bro, you know, big respect inside the cage, bro. This guy is built like Captain America, and he fights like Captain England or whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not going to put him in S or A because I feel like, you know, maybe there'll be a time where, like, maybe we just run out of shit to talk to. But at the end of the day, I feel like we will have some good laughs, you know, for lack of a better word, once again, some jolly vibes. I mean, look, I'm whipping out the big old jolly here, bro. What are we doing? Up next to Payton Talbott, man. You know, your favorite fighter's favorite fighter repping pride here. But apparently, he apparently might be having a kid. Or he's got the wife up on some shit. So I'm, you know, big congrats to Payton Talbott if that's true. It might be all rumors, but I don't know why he's been outside the cage. But that's what I've heard. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Jet has presented to me like it's a case in court. But Payton Talbott, I'm going to put in the C tier. I see that he has like this YouTube channel whenever he tries to promote himself. I see a lot of the, and by the way, glad that he does, but I see a lot of the comments that are just like, oh, dude, Payton Talbott, Hood Classic incoming. Repping a blinker for this one, man. Like, absolutely going to be toasted off my roasted for this one. I'm just like, bro, so Payton Talbott got a lot of the stoners in the comment section. You know what I'm damn saying, bro? And I be seeing the interviews. I see the bleach hole in his chest tattoo and through the back tattoo. Like, this guy is, you know, I be seeing the nose rings. I see the pole dancing. This guy is, you know, it's polarizing, but I feel like he would just be way too chill, you know? Like, he would just be like, you know, just that guy that's just lax the entire goddamn time. And it's like, bro, you know, you're kind of freaking me out, my boy. I feel like we got to say something here. So, Payton Talbott, just not a lot to it, you know? I'll put him in the C tier. It could be, you know, it could be a good time, but, like, unless it's in a group, I don't know, man. We'll put him, it's just not part of that dream rotation, you know? And, like, yeah, he might be high as hell a lot of the damn time, presumably, you know, looking at the fan base, but, yeah, I don't know. Up next to Jack Della Maddalena, bro. Again, I'll put him in D tier just because, you know, like the guy a lot as a fighter, but what the fuck am I going to say to JDM? I saw the video of him smoking with, like, Tai Tuivasa, or Tai Tuivasa was smoking around him after they both lost at Perth. And Tai is just goofy as all hell. Classic SpongeBob Goofy Goober, bro. Like, we're seeing the movie in 2005 itself. But then you got JDM looking just sad as hell. And then it made me sad as hell. So I guess that's all I have to say about that. Mario Bautista here. Listen, bro. I have gained a lot of respect and admiration for Mario Bautista inside the cage, you know? I hated that Jose Aldo fight. And he wasn't exactly really resonating with me on the come up, but as of right now, I can appreciate these performances Mario Bautista's putting together. But as just a guy smoking with another guy, a fella with another fella, a lad with another lad, bro. Terrence and Phillip, right? I don't know, dude. This ain't it. I feel like Simon Cowell at America's Got Talent. Well, really, any country's got talent. They got them all. But where I'm clicking like, I gotta click the buzzer on this one. You know, the big red X. Mario Bautista, I feel like I've seen him smile once. Possibly ever. Like, he might just be constantly the... What's good? You know, like that mean mug from Obsession, bro? That bullshit. Like, that... You know, come on now, man. Like, I don't think we could talk about anything that would make me smile or him smile, and it would just be like, you know, we could really break down the fights. And again, I've said this 100 times in this video. Like, I would love to interview this guy, but to smoke with, to just have a good time, Mario Bautista would just be like the Grim Reaper. And I don't know if I'm feeling that, bro. Which, ironically, he hangs out with a lot of those guys and trains with a lot of those guys, like the O'Malley's and the Tommy Guns and the Tim Welch's, but he could not be any further, I feel like, from that type of, you know, vibe, if you will. Up next to Charles Oliveira. My girlfriend saw the little notes, if you will, of how I was going to rank these guys, and she's a big fan of Charles, and she put him in S as a joke, but I'm going to keep him in here because the more I thought about it, the more it makes sense, because who would not want to smoke with Charles? Again, big language barrier here, but it's like, smoking with Charles Oliveira, you know what I'm saying? I got to add Charles Oliveira to the blunt rotation, bro. Come on, it'd be just Mr. Wholesome and a half. You know, I feel like this guy would literally, like, you know, help you're smoking a joint or you're smoking whatever, and the smoke comes out, you see it in the air, the little bit of mist of fog there, rainbows would come out with Oliveira. Fucking rainbows in the air. You know, I feel like we could be smoking on a rainy day and all of a sudden the sun would shine out. He's got like the little sunglasses on. He says, hey, Charles, have a good sesh. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little knee slapper on the way out. So I'll put Charles at S. You know, shout out to Shawty for this one. Up next to Marcus McGhee, bro. I gotta put Marcus McGhee in A, bro. Come on, dude. Like, this guy is just your classic skater boy going MMA fighter, which really doesn't happen a lot. You know, I think that did happen technically with Payton Talbott, but I feel like Marcus would just be such a better vibe. Marcus, like, he might be a father. Like, I mean, technically already, you know, we're talking about the Payton allegations or rumors, but Marcus is a straight up father, kind of a bit of that unk status or whatever, and I really respect this guy, and I'm a fan of this guy inside the cage, but I feel like he's just a chiller, bro. He be watching anime, we could shoot the shit about that. You know, we could do a fucking tier list or something. He be talking about skating, he be talking about fighting. He just seems like a chiller. He knows references, he knows ball, he just got that smile to him that's gonna make you smile, not on some weird shit, like just genuinely, just like the type of fella that you're gonna cross in the street. I've been saying fella a lot in this video. I'm fella maxing, but the type of guy you're gonna cross in the street, he's gonna tell you to have a great day, and you're probably gonna have a great day. So Marcus McGhee, man, yeah, come on now, we gotta put him in A. Up next to Paddy Pimblett, I'll put him in the B tier because I have been really becoming a fan of Paddy's personality, and especially, you know, inside the cage as well. This guy has grown on me a lot, especially after that BSD win. I mean, come on now. I'm just a full-on fan at this point. I gotta dye my hair blonde. Not like I'm going Super Saiyan, but like I'm going Super Paddy up in here. But Paddy, I'm not gonna put higher than B because the sole reason that if it wasn't for this, he could be S. But this specifically holds me back. You cannot eat around this guy. You cannot eat, bro. Now, he might be generous enough to pay for your food because he's that type of nice guy. He looks out for his friends. And if you're smoking with them, you must be something on the level of chill. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're an acquaintance. But, you know, I saw that video of him saying the sloppy shit and picking up the shit for the random lady and when his dog was on a walk. You know, Paddy seems like a chiller. He seems like a good guy. But he will eat the entire pantry. He will literally try to eat me, bro. Like, he will literally try to eat the house, you know? He is the monster house. He just consumes. And whether it's microwave ramen or ordering like $100 DoorDash from Burger King, first of all, who the hell is doing that? But, you know, I got to put him in B. Would be great to just hang out with, smoke, get to know. You know, we can talk about the little, you know, whatever the hell he wants, to be honest. You know, we could spin the wheel and just do whatever. But dude, he would eat everything, bro. I'm not doing that. Up next, we got Valter Walker. I gotta put Valter Walker in the S tier, bro. Like, this guy might try and heel hook me. He might literally try and chop my foot off here, bro. But he might literally try and just put me in some kind of choke here in general, bro. I might be passed out when I wake up after a couple hits. You know what I'm saying? But Valter Walker, man, I can barely understand him half the damn time, but like, what a funny ass guy, bro. Like, I be seeing all these collabs, all these interviews. Bro, I want to just hang out with this guy, let alone interview him or just support him and root for him to try and get him in the top motherfucking 10. But this guy just is funny as hell. Like, the chocolate pepper pig and like all this shit, bro. He's trying to talk, like, I saw that little press conference, that mini YouTube one he did with Thomas Peterson. Thomas Peterson just trying to be his friend the whole time, which, respect to Peterson. And that's like Walker just being funny as hell, bro. Talking that shit, bro. Walking that walk. Like, yeah, Valter Walker, bro, just like Johnny, but in a completely different way. Just very goofy, bro. Very goofy. I gotta put him in the S tier. I feel like I'd be rolling, laughing my ass off on the floor, bro. Up next to Aljamain Sterling, and y'all might be surprised, man. I'm gonna put Sterling in the B tier. You know, say what you want about the acting allegations against Petr Yan. Say what you want about certain decisions that he's won, or fights that he's had that maybe you disagree with, or you thought they were boring, or bullshit, or whatever. If we're just talking about human to human, mono to mono, Bleach to One Piece to Dragon Ball shit, I would smoke with Aljamain Sterling pretty happily here. Not just interviewing, not just taking a picture. Like, I would be like, yeah, bro, let's do it. I would love that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he'd be kind of down too. You know what I'm saying? And with Aljamain Sterling here, bro, you know, let's be on some Theo Von shit. When he was interviewing the Amish kid, like, let's just have a chill conversation here. And Aljamain Sterling, as like an actual person, like, I see how he's with his friends and I see him online, I see all this shit, and like, he kind of seems like a chill guy. I be seeing the interviews and shit, and like, he just kind of seems like a chiller. Does he put it on absolute stinkers inside the cage? Sure, but we're not watching him fight here. We're just smoking with him. Surprise, surprise, you know? It might be kind of crazy putting him with the king of smoking, Sean O'Malley here. It's kind of ironic. But, you know, Aljamain Sterling, I feel like he can hang. I feel like he can hang with the boys. You know what I'm saying? So, Aljamain Sterling knows ball. We'll put him in the B tier here. And that's going to be it for this video, boys. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. You know, like the Stricklands and Chimaevs, they be in the John Silvas, they be freaking me out. Merab and Arman feeling no certain type of way. And then we get the chillers, like I think the dream rotation. So how big is the rotation? Like 3 to 4 people. The dream rotation ended up being Prates, or Carlos Prates, Valter Walker, Charles Oliveira. I guess if I had to pick one from A tier, you know, let's roll with Quillan Salkilld to be honest. Like, I feel like you just got to add him in there. You know, it might be a little bit stereotypical a little bit, but from stash to stash, well, his is way better than mine, but from stash to stash, yeah, those 4, that'll be the dream rotation. If you made this far in the video, consider leaving a like and subscribe if you will for the channel. But if not, appreciate y'all for giving me your time and attention and making it this far, man. So thank you guys so very much. Let me know your opinions. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Where was I right? Where was I wrong? And what do you think about this tier list in general? How do you like these types of videos? Should I do more? You know, so members of the channel, appreciate y'all. Non-members of the channel, but viewing in general, appreciate y'all as well. And thank you guys so very much for giving this video a watch. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And I appreciate y'all. Don Smoke MMA here. Let me know what y'all think. Who's your dream rotation? That's the big old question, right?